After 60, the concept of leg strength transforms from a measure of athleticism into a cornerstone of independence, balance, and daily function. The human body, remarkable in its adaptability, does not lose the capacity to generate power simply because the years advance. Rather, strength diminishes when muscle fibers are underutilized, and the nervous system gradually reduces its recruitment of key pathways. Many older adults rely heavily on familiar patterns of movement, such as walking, sitting, or climbing stairs, which engage only a fraction of the muscles available in the legs. Over decades, this selective activation can lead to partial atrophy of certain fibers and a decline in coordination between muscles and joints. Yet with deliberate mindful exercises, these dormant fibers can be awakened, and neural pathways can be strengthened, enabling a resurgence of power, endurance, and stability even in later decades of life. The first principle in regaining leg strength is the intentional activation of the major muscle groups through controlled, deliberate motion. Squats, step-ups, seated leg presses, and targeted extensions stimulate the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves in ways that everyday movements rarely achieve. Each repetition serves as a signal to the nervous system, instructing it to recruit more motor units, fire fibers in precise sequences, and coordinate force efficiently across multiple joints. This neuromuscular retraining is crucial because, while muscle tissue may retain potential, the brain often underutilizes it with age, leading to weakness that is as much neural as it is muscular. By focusing on slow, deliberate contractions and mindful awareness of each movement, older adults teach their nervous system to reestablish optimal communication with the muscles, restoring both strength and confidence in motion. Equally important is understanding that strength is not measured solely in raw force, but in the quality of movement and stability it enables. Activating the legs through controlled exercises improves not only the power of individual muscles, but also the synergy between them. The glutes stabilize the hips, the hamstrings balance the quadriceps, and the calves support both the ankles and the knees. When these groups work in harmony, movements such as standing from a chair, climbing stairs, or walking over uneven terrain require less effort and generate more stability. This integrated activation reduces compensatory patterns where weaker muscles or joints are overburdened, thereby decreasing the risk of injury and improving overall functional performance. The method by which muscles are engaged, particularly through controlled full range motion, is another critical component of effective leg strengthening. Exercises performed with careful attention to alignment, depth, and tempo ensure that muscle fibers are recruited evenly and efficiently. For instance, a squat that moves slowly through the hip, knee, and ankle joints allows each muscle to contract fully during both the descending and ascending phases. This controlled approach not only maximizes strength gains, but also encourages proper joint mechanics, reducing strain on cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. By integrating motion and muscle engagement, these exercises teach the body to move powerfully and safely, reinforcing both strength and coordination. Another dimension to consider is the activation of stabilizing muscles and connective tissue alongside the primary movers. The deep muscles surrounding the hips, pelvis, and core provide foundational support that allows the legs to generate force safely. Exercises that challenge balance, involve single leg movements, require controlled shifting of weight, awaken these stabilizers. Improved core engagement enhances posture and balance, enabling older adults to transmit strength from the torso through the legs efficiently. This combination of prime movers and stabilizers results in a holistic increase in leg strength that extends beyond isolated muscle gains, improving the ability to perform complex functional movements with ease and confidence. Finally, repetition and progressive challenge are central to building lasting leg strength. The Japanese approach emphasizes moderate intensity, combined with consistent practice, creating a rhythm that the body can adapt to over time. Each session signals the muscles to grow, the nervous system to coordinate more efficiently, and connective tissues to become more resilient. Progression is gradual, respecting the body's capacity while ensuring that stimuli remain sufficient to promote adaptation. Over weeks and months, these carefully structured movements accumulate into meaningful improvements. The legs become stronger, the joints more stable, and the sense of balance and coordination more reliable. This consistent approach fosters confidence, reduces fear of falling, and transforms everyday mobility into an expression of control, vitality, and independence. Through mindful activation, controlled movement, stabilizer engagement, and consistent practice. Leg strength after 60 is not a fixed limitation, but a potential waiting to be realized. By retraining neural pathways, awakening dormant fibers, and enhancing muscular coordination, older adults can reclaim strength that allows them to move with purpose, stability, and ease. This approach reveals that the legs, far from being bound by age, can once again carry the body with confidence, endurance, and vitality through daily life, reminding us that the human body's capacity for adaptation remains present even in the later decades of life. The second principle in regaining leg strength after 60 is the development of balance and joint integrity, which is as essential as muscle power itself. Strong legs are important, but without stability and proper joint function, strength alone cannot prevent falls, maintain confidence in movement, or support smooth, efficient daily activity. The human body relies on an intricate network of muscles, tendons, ligaments, and neural feedback to maintain equilibrium during motion. As we age, proprioception, the body's innate sense of position and movement, can diminish, making even simple tasks like stepping onto a curb or rising from a chair more challenging. By incorporating exercises that emphasize balance and joint stabilization, older adults can strengthen the connections between muscles and joints, reinforcing the body's natural capacity to respond to shifting terrain or unexpected perturbations. Balance-focused movements train the neuromuscular system to integrate sensory input from the inner ear, visual cues, and feedback from muscles and joints. Single-leg exercises, slow controlled lunges, step-ups are particularly effective because they require the body to recruit stabilizing muscles while maintaining the center of gravity. The ankle, knee, and hip joints work in coordination to adjust to subtle changes in weight distribution, while the core muscles engage to maintain posture. Each repetition challenges the nervous system to improve its predictive and reactive responses, refining the way the brain interprets signals from the body. Over time, this constant practice sharpens balance, reduces compensatory movements, and increases the precision with which force is applied through the legs. Joint integrity is also enhanced through mindful, controlled motion. The cartilage, ligaments, and synovial fluid that support the joints respond positively to repeated moderate load applied through full range of motion exercises. By moving deliberately through these arcs, older adults stimulate nutrient exchange in the cartilage, maintain lubrication in synovial fluid, and strengthen surrounding ligaments and tendons. Unlike high-impact activities, which can stress aging joints, controlled balance exercises provide the necessary mechanical signals without overloading fragile structures. The result is a system in which joints move more freely, muscles support them efficiently, and the body as a whole gains resilience against the cumulative stresses of everyday movement. Balance training also encourages the development of stabilizer muscles that are often underutilized. The gluteus medius, deep hip rotators, and small intrinsic foot muscles play a critical role in maintaining alignment and absorbing impact. When these stabilizers are weak, larger muscles must compensate, often leading to inefficient movement patterns, joint strain, and fatigue. Exercises that challenge stability, such as standing on one leg with slow weight shifts or controlled lateral steps, activate these smaller muscles, teaching them to work in concert with prime movers. This engagement improves functional strength, ensuring that leg power is applied safely and effectively during daily activities, from walking and climbing stairs to lifting and bending. The nervous system is deeply involved in the process of balance and joint integrity. Each movement sends signals from the feet, ankles, knees, and hips to the brain, which interprets the data and issues commands to maintain equilibrium. Over time, age-related declines in neural responsiveness can make these signals less precise, increasing the risk of missteps or instability. Balance-focused exercises repeatedly challenge the system to respond accurately, enhancing neuroplasticity and reinforcing communication between sensory receptors and motor pathways. This refinement reduces the likelihood of falls and allows movements to feel more controlled, confident, and effortless. Another dimension of balance training is its contribution to energy efficiency. When the body is able to maintain stability with minimal effort, large muscle groups can focus on generating strength rather than compensating for wobble or instability. This reduces fatigue, prevents overuse injuries, and allows for smoother, more coordinated movements. With consistent practice, the legs, hips, and core develop a harmonious rhythm, where each muscle contraction supports the joint stability. Every step is precise, and the energy required to move is optimized. This combination of strength and balance fosters greater confidence, enabling older adults to engage fully in activities they may have previously avoided for fear of instability or falls. Psychologically, improving balance and joint integrity has profound effects on confidence and willingness to move. Fear of falling can be as limiting as physical weakness. It's causing people to avoid necessary activity and accelerating deconditioning. By engaging in exercises that safely challenge balance and reinforce joint stability, older adults experience tangible improvements in control and coordination. This reinforces self-efficacy, reduces anxiety related to mobility, and encourages continued practice of strength-building exercises. Over time, the integration of physical improvements with psychological reassurance creates a feedback loop where confidence and ability reinforce one another, and movement becomes both safe and empowering. Through consistent mindful balance training, older adults can enhance joint integrity, engage stabilizing muscles, and refine neural coordination. This process transforms not only the mechanical function of the legs, but also the body's internal awareness and responsiveness, allowing movements to be executed with precision, stability, and confidence. Strength becomes more functional, coordination more reliable, and daily life becomes a demonstration of balance, resilience, and control, highlighting the profound impact that targeted neuromuscular training can have on leg health after 60. The third principle in doubling leg strength after 60 focuses on the importance of slow, controlled eccentric motion, a type of muscle contraction that occurs as a muscle lengthens under tension. While concentric motion, the shortening of a muscle during lifting or pushing, has traditionally received the most attention in exercise routines, the eccentric phase plays an equally vital role, especially for older adults. Eccentric movements stimulate muscle fibers in a way that produces strength gains, improves tendon resilience, and enhances neuromuscular control. When lowering into a squat, stepping down from a raised platform, or slowly bending the knees, the muscles are required to resist gravity with precision. This controlled resistance not only builds strength more effectively, but also teaches the nervous system to manage force with accuracy, a skill that translates directly into everyday activities where balance, coordination, and controlled movement are essential. One of the primary benefits of eccentric training is its effect on muscle recruitment. As muscles lengthen under tension, more motor units are activated to maintain control, including fibers that may have been underutilized for years. Aging leads to a natural decline in the recruitment of these fibers, particularly the fast-twitch fibers responsible for explosive power and balance recovery. By emphasizing slow, deliberate eccentric movements, older adults awaken these fibers, restoring a capacity for strength that may have seemed lost. The deliberate tempo also allows for continuous feedback to the brain, enhancing neural pathways that coordinate movement, ensuring that each contraction is purposeful and efficient. Over time, this retraining of the neuromuscular system improves not only raw strength but also precision, stability, and the ability to respond to unexpected challenges in daily life. Eccentric training also has profound effects on connective tissue. Tendons, ligaments, and fascia respond to controlled stress by becoming more resilient and better able to transmit force between muscles and bones. This is particularly important in older adults, as connective tissues naturally lose elasticity with age. Slow, controlled lengthening exercises encourage collagen remodeling, improving tensile strength and joint support. Stronger tendons reduce the risk of injury during movement, enhance joint stability, and allow the muscles to operate more efficiently. By integrating eccentric motion into a consistent routine, older adults can protect their knees, hips, and ankles, while simultaneously increasing the capacity of the muscles that drive movement. Another advantage of eccentric-focused exercises is the improvement of joint proprioception and alignment. As muscles resist lengthening, the brain receives constant sensory input regarding limb position, its muscle tension, and load distribution. This feedback allows for more precise control of movement and contributes to joint stability. In practical terms, this means the body learns to navigate stairs, curbs, and uneven terrain with greater confidence and efficiency. The legs become not only stronger, but also more coordinated, able to generate force at the right moment while maintaining balance and minimizing strain on the joints. This combination of strength and sensory feedback is a key factor in reducing the risk of falls, a concern that grows more significant with age. Eccentric motion also contributes to muscular endurance. Muscles trained in slow, lengthening contractions develop the capacity to sustain tension over longer periods, which supports posture, gait, and prolonged activity. Daily tasks, such as standing from a chair repeatedly, carrying groceries, or climbing a flight of stairs become less fatiguing as the muscles learn to maintain controlled tension efficiently. This endurance is compounded by the simultaneous engagement of stabilizing muscles in the hips, core, and ankles, which work in concert to manage force and maintain alignment. The synergy between strength, endurance, and stability created by eccentric training is foundational to functional leg health after 60. Metabolically, eccentric exercises are gentle yet highly effective. Unlike high-impact or explosive movements, they allow for substantial strength gains with lower cardiovascular strain and reduced risk of acute injury. Older adults can challenge their muscles safely, building resilience gradually while avoiding excessive stress on the heart, lungs, or joints. This makes eccentric-focused routines particularly accessible and sustainable, promoting consistent practice over time and facilitating long-term improvements in muscle function, mobility, and overall vitality. Finally, the psychological benefits of slow, deliberate, eccentric training should not be underestimated. The focus required to control each movement encourages mindfulness, body awareness, and a deeper connection with physical capability. Older adults learn to appreciate subtle improvements in balance, coordination, and strength, reinforcing confidence and reducing fear of movement-related injury. This mental reinforcement enhances adherence to exercise routines, creating a positive feedback loop in which both body and mind grow stronger, more capable, and more confident with each session. Through slow, controlled eccentric motion, older adults can rebuild leg strength, improve tendon and joint resilience, enhance proprioception, and develop muscular endurance. This deliberate approach not only restores lost power but also integrates balance, stability, and control, ensuring that gains in muscle strength translate directly into functional, everyday mobility, allowing for safer, more confident movement in all aspects of life after 60. The fourth principle in doubling leg strength after 60 emphasizes the importance of performing exercises through a full range of motion with precise alignment, a practice that maximizes functional strength while protecting joints and connective tissues. As we age, muscles and joints often become accustomed to limited movement patterns, whether due to sedentary habits, prior injuries, or gradual stiffening of tissues. These shortened patterns reduce flexibility, compromise joint stability, and restrict the efficiency with which muscles generate force. By intentionally moving the hips, knees, and ankles through their natural arcs, older adults not only engage more muscle fibers, but also promote joint lubrication, tendon elasticity, and neuromuscular coordination. This holistic approach ensures that the power generated in the legs translates seamlessly into functional movements, from climbing stairs to walking across uneven terrain, and reduces the risk of strain or injury during everyday activity. Full range of motion exercises stimulate the muscles in ways that partial movements cannot. When a squat is performed with complete depth, the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves are all activated throughout the entire length of the contraction. The eccentric phase of the movement lengthens the fibers under controlled tension, while the concentric phase shortens them to generate power. Its combination enhances both muscle strength and flexibility simultaneously. By challenging the muscles across their full functional length, older adults can regain elasticity, improve balance, and support joints more effectively. Over time, the muscles learn to work in coordination through the complete range, producing smoother, more controlled, and more powerful movements in daily life. Alignment during movement is equally critical. Maintaining proper positioning of the feet, knees, hips, and torso ensures that forces are distributed evenly across joints and connective tissues. Misalignment, even subtle, can place excess stress on ligaments, tendons, and cartilage, increasing the likelihood of pain or injury. By consciously focusing on alignment during each repetition, older adults encourage correct muscle recruitment patterns, reinforcing the body's natural biomechanics. This precision allows for stronger contractions, better joint stability, and more efficient movement, creating a foundation on which both power and confidence can grow. Proper alignment also reduces compensatory habits that may have developed over the years, such as shifting weight onto one side or relying on smaller stabilizer muscles to compensate for weakened prime movers. The engagement of stabilizing muscles is reinforced when exercises are performed with full range and proper alignment. Core muscles, deep hip rotators, and intrinsic foot muscles are all recruited to maintain posture and balance. These stabilizers work in harmony with the prime movers, creating a network of support that allows the legs to generate power safely. Strong stabilizers reduce wobble, prevent excessive strain on joints, and improve proprioception, which is the body's ability to sense its position in space. Enhanced proprioception is crucial for older adults, as it allows for quicker, more accurate responses to shifts in terrain or balance, reducing the risk of falls and injuries while improving overall movement efficiency. Performing exercises through a full range of motion also encourages joint health at the tissue level. Cartilage, ligaments, and tendons require movement to maintain elasticity and nutrient exchange. Synovial fluid, which lubricates the joints, circulates more effectively when joints are mobilized through their entire arc. This fluid carries nutrients to the cartilage and removes waste products, helping maintain joint integrity and reducing stiffness. Over time, consistent practice of full-range movements can restore mobility, ease discomfort, and create a sense of lightness and fluidity in the legs that supports daily activity and exercise adherence. Another critical aspect of this principle is its contribution to functional strength. Muscles strengthened through a complete range of motion are better prepared to meet the demands of real-world movements, which rarely occur in isolated or partial arcs. Whether stepping up onto a curb, bending to pick up an object, or rising from a low chair, the legs must generate power throughout varying angles and lengths. Training across the full range ensures that strength is practical and applicable, allowing older adults to navigate their environment safely and confidently. The combination of flexibility, control, and alignment transforms exercises from mere repetitions into movements that enhance independence and quality of life. The psychological dimension is also significant. Focusing on full range and alignment encourages mindfulness, attention to detail, and a deeper connection with the body. Joint position and balance, fostering awareness that extends beyond the exercise session. This attentiveness reinforces confidence, reduces fear of movement, and strengthens the mind-body connection, which is essential for consistent practice and long-term results. Over time, this mindful approach cultivates a sense of control over the body, allowing older adults to move with ease, grace, and stability. Through deliberate use of full range of motion and careful alignment, older adults can achieve leg strength that is not only powerful, but also functional, balanced, and sustainable. Muscles develop across their entire length, joints receive proper lubrication and support, stabilizers are reinforced, and the nervous system learns to coordinate movement with precision. This integration of strength, mobility, and control transforms daily movement, making walking, climbing, and standing more fluid, efficient, and secure. By committing to exercises that honor the body's natural arcs and biomechanics, older adults can cultivate a foundation of power and resilience that carries through every step, every motion, and every activity of daily life. The fifth principle in doubling leg strength after 60 emphasizes the importance of consistency and progressive challenge, a principle that is as psychological as it is physiological. Many older adults view exercise as occasional effort rather than a structured, ongoing practice, which limits the body's ability to adapt and grow stronger. Muscles, tendons, ligaments, and even the nervous system respond to repeated stimuli over time, gradually improving strength, coordination, and endurance. When movements are performed consistently, with attention to form, balance, and range of motion, the body begins to learn patterns of efficient contraction, better motor unit recruitment, and improved joint stabilization. This consistency allows the adaptations to accumulate steadily, creating meaningful and lasting improvements in leg function that extend far beyond the exercise sessions themselves. Consistency builds more than muscle. It cultivates neural pathways that govern movement. The nervous system relies on repeated practice to refine the communication between brain and muscles. Particularly in older adults, whose neuromuscular efficiency naturally declines with age. Each repetition of a squat, step up, or lunge reinforces the timing, coordination, and recruitment of muscle fibers, gradually retraining the brain to send more precise and powerful signals. This enhanced neuromuscular connection improves balance, strength, and responsiveness, allowing the legs to act with greater control in everyday tasks. Whether adjusting to uneven terrain, rising from a low chair, or shifting weight during walking, the brain and muscles work in harmony, producing movements that feel fluid, confident, and reliable. Progressive challenge complements consistency by ensuring that the body continues to adapt rather than plateauing. Gradually increasing resistance, depth, range, or duration of exercises stimulates growth and strengthens both muscle and connective tissue. The principle of progressive overload encourages the muscles to generate more force over time, while also reinforcing joint stability, tendon resilience, and motor control. For older adults, this approach must be balanced with safety, focusing on controlled, deliberate movements that maintain alignment and minimize stress on joints. By carefully adjusting intensity, the exercises remain challenging enough to stimulate adaptation while preserving long-term mobility and preventing injury. This principle also integrates stabilizer muscles, which are critical for functional strength. The core, hip, and ankle stabilizers act in concert with the prime movers to maintain posture, balance, and alignment throughout each exercise. Regularly engaging these stabilizers strengthens the body's foundation, allowing leg muscles to generate more power safely and efficiently. Over time, improved stabilizer strength reduces compensatory movements, enhances proprioception, and promotes smoother, more controlled motion. This combination of prime mover power and stabilizer support transforms leg function from raw strength into practical, functional performance that directly benefits daily activities. Consistency and progressive challenge also influence muscular endurance, a key component of mobility and fatigue resistance. As exercises are repeated over time, the muscles learn to sustain tension and generate force over extended periods, improving performance during both structured exercise and daily movement. This endurance is critical for older adults who often experience fatigue more quickly due to declines in mitochondrial efficiency, circulation, and neuromuscular coordination. Strength developed through consistent, progressively challenging practice allows the legs to carry the body through multiple repetitions of standing, walking, climbing, or bending without excessive effort or risk of strain. The circulatory and metabolic systems also benefit from regular, deliberate exercise. Muscle contractions improve blood flow, enhancing oxygen and nutrient delivery to tissues while supporting waste removal. Progressive engagement challenges the cardiovascular system moderately, improving stamina and resilience without the high-impact stress that can accompany more aggressive exercise routines. Over time, this supports overall vitality, energy levels, and the body's ability to recover quickly between sessions. In this way, the principle of consistency extends its benefits beyond the muscles themselves, enhancing systemic health and supporting the integration of strength, balance, and endurance. Psychologically, consistency cultivates discipline, confidence, and a sense of mastery. Older adults who engage in a regular practice of structured leg exercises learn to anticipate improvement, recognize subtle gains, and internalize a sense of capability. This confidence reduces fear of movement, encourages engagement in daily activities, and reinforces adherence to the routine. The cumulative impact is powerful. Physical gains strengthen the mind's perception of control, and psychological confidence reinforces physical performance, creating a positive feedback loop that accelerates overall improvement in leg strength and function. Finally, the combination of consistency and progressive challenge teaches patience, mindfulness, and respect for the body's capacity. Each session, repetition, and adjustment builds upon the last, producing incremental improvements that are sustainable and resilient. The legs become stronger, the joints more stable, the muscles more coordinated, and the nervous system more adept at responding to the demands of daily life. By committing to this principle, older adults create a foundation not just for greater leg strength, but for enhanced mobility, independence, and quality of life that carries forward into every movement, step, and activity of their daily routine.